Today on Blueprints, I'm gonna tell you why I like the action figure better than the healer puppet on the Queen equipment. So let's dive in and see how the comparison goes. Okay guys, the first attack I wanted to show you, but by the way, don't worry about the strategy. We're just going to focus on the Queen action figure. Sometimes I'm gonna call it the giant, guys. Like the Queen giant just works better, okay? Now, the first example I wanna kind of showcase is how the giant tanks, and not specifically just in front of the Queen. It's about the army as well. Sometimes there's things that this giant does that honestly, it's just entirely tanking 3 major defenses and a hero. That's already insane. And once you catch it under the warden ability, like with the major army that you're having, as I said, don't worry about the army. You can have it with root riders, it can be with dragons, but obviously there are certain things where if it's with dragons, now the giant would have actually pulled the CC because it's diving into the base. So you might need a better funnel, if you know what I mean. So it's just army depending, but at the same time, the giant did its work. It kept the Queen alive for a kind of, I would say, long, as in now the base is just gone, right? When the Queen dies, it's done. Like, obviously, as I said, don't worry about the army itself. There's other armies that is the same kind of approach. You have the Queen on the outside. I don't personally know any strategy that still deploy the Queen into the base. So the Queen on every strategy going to be on the outside. It's just about that, how far can she get into the base. Let's move on to our second example. Alright, so this attack, I'm going to show you like the way that this giant can actually be really helpful. First of all, not just because it can like stay alive for a long time. Usually on a lot of my attacks it actually does stay alive, but currently we have the other giants as well in the army camp, so don't worry about them as well, like if you are watching this video a bit later and the event is over. But obviously once there is holes in the wall, this giant can really go in the base, tank for the Queen, and at the same time actually break walls so they can move forward. How many times you have your Queen stuck inside of the base because of these corner open bases? Sometimes it happens, and look at this, the way the giant actually will open up certain like corners of the base from the inside. It gives your Queen access to more layers and more into the base. So obviously if your Queen is inside, she can come out, she has other options. If your Queen is on the outside, she can dive in and still be alive and come out. You can see how when the base is distracted by your main army and just the other layers around the outside or just kind of pushing on your Queen, this is like an extra king, guys. It's not like healer puppet could sometimes save you, but at the same time it could most of the time be what do you call it, like not enough, if you know what I mean, like not enough healing for your Queen to stay alive alone. You usually need a siege barracks, you usually need a king in front of the Queen. So that way, obviously, as you know, a lot of major defenses on Town Hall 17 bases are on the outside, like ricochet cannons, multi-archer towers, expos usually target the outside as well, and especially heroes, like literally this royal champion could easily lock onto your Queen and your 3 healers cannot really do anything much about it. And the giant just gives you that extra kind of tanking that the siege barracks usually does, even in a better way that it can break the walls. So that would be it for this example. Let's move on. Now on this example we do have a double rage town hall, a really super simple base for this strategy. You can literally lyric on everything and just swag everything, but obviously what I want to showcase is how the giant tanks on an expo, on the enemy heroes, multi-archer towers. It's just amazing how she can get so much tanking in front of her, like the Queen. And the healers obviously right here when there is an air defense. If I didn't have that Valkyrie, just a little pause, if I didn't have that disarmor, this air defense would have targeted my healers when the Queen is around these areas. And also this enemy queen would have also targeted my queen. Obviously we do have the Frosty, so it's about like, can the Frosty freeze her in time? Do you need headhunters? Is, I don't know, like the queen alone enough? You know, obviously we're using blimp. You can use that kind of troop launcher, you can use wall wrecker, log launcher, a lot of other things, maybe even with your king. Or on the other side you can use another siege barracks or a flame flinger. It's all army depending. But if you can see what I mean, that the queen doesn't need anything, this is exactly what I mean. Like the giant is insane. The way it tanks, the way it moves forward, it's just insane. And we also took down that air defense. As I said, if we had healers and no giant, the air defense would have targeted the healers and it would be kind of useless. Again, don't worry about the army itself that is crushing the base. It's just about the queen being on the outside. How far can she get? How is she being tanked? Can she keep up going? Can she take down all the things you actually need a queen to take down? Because obviously whenever you have the queen on the outside, some people think the queen is one of the most important heroes, maybe the second most important hero after the warden. So obviously not sometimes you get the perfect value out of her because she's on the outside, and the outside layers could not give you that good value. But with the giant, it's just amazing how it works, man. And obviously I also have a few challenges for you that I've done with the healer puppet and that action figure to show you how far can she get alone, as in no troops around her, no funneling, no siege barracks, no army, just the queen. I want to showcase how can she get further into the base. So here we are on this base. Of course it's my base and I'm going with the same kind of equipment, but it's just like the queen alone obviously. Now this is one of the reasons. Once you have the Frosty, if you're going in front of the ricochet cannon, guys, your queen will still take damage because Frosty and queen are two like main thing, right? And look at this, like the queen just died without getting any actual defenses. This is where if you having your queen alone and you're kind of forgetting about her, she can die really quickly. You're focusing on the main army, you're diving into the base, blimp, you're doing everything you can, spell placement, warden ability, royal champion, killing the clan castle, poison, and your queen is just alone. So this is exactly what happens with healer puppet. And by the way, this is regular mode, it's not hard mode. In hard mode the giant really saves you, but in regular mode even the healers cannot keep up with simply a ricochet cannon and an expo. That's it, you die. And again, as I said, because the Frosty and queen are two major things, they get targeted both together when in front of a ricochet cannon, and the enemy heroes can really hurt you if the Frosty dies quickly. But with the giant, it's gonna be a bit different, so let's see what happens then. So same approach, same queen giant arrow, exactly same side. Look at this giant, the way it goes and tank for that ricochet cannon and the minion prince. Your queen is also going to find skeleton traps. That is the worst thing, but the giant's still going. Now it's raged up. It can also be able to get the buildings on the other side. It tanked the minion prince enough. It's tanking beautifully, so your queen can actually take down more, and she even took down a rocket loom from that clan castle. Obviously, as I said, it's all about comparison. You're never gonna have just your queen on the pitch, but with the giant she has a higher chance of actually moving forward. Now do you remember when I said the Frosty and the queen are only two things? Now once if this giant just goes for the ricochet cannon, your queen will never get targeted. It's just the Frosty and the giant that takes the ricochet cannon shots, because they are going to be the two closest thing to the ricochet cannon. So your queen is going to stay alive and take down whatever that is in front of her really easier than just having nothing in front of her, just the Frosty and just 3 healers that are not even maxed. If you don't know, the healers from the queen healer puppet is not actually maxed healers. The max level is like higher, it's like 2 levels even higher. But as you know, in hard mode it's going to be even more damage, so the healers cannot possibly keep up. But with the giant and the basically action figure, I believe this can become the new healer puppet with the giant arrow. Obviously, one thing I would suggest you, if you're having like obviously the action figure upgraded, If you're going with wars and CW attacks, I would suggest you to put it with the magic mirror if the base does not have an invisibility tower. These two equipment work crazy. Once you pop it, a whole giant comes and 3 queen behind it. This will guarantee you whatever is left from the base. If you're going through a wall, if you're going on the outside, if you want to get the funnel, it can crush that entire side. It can kill 4 heroes at the same time. Literally, trust me, it can do that. So that is what I would suggest you with the main queen ability. The double epic will work really well in wars, CW, and of course tournaments where you can choose the base. But in Legends League, you need the giant arrow. You don't know what kind of bases you're going to get. A lot of invisibility towers are going to be meta, and was meta, is still meta. So you need to have the giant arrow, and that is how this equipment works together really well. And hopefully again you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see anything else, let us know down below in the comments, and don't forget to use code BLUE in the store whenever you're purchasing anything. We appreciate that a lot, and hopefully we'll see you soon in the future. Take care and peace.